We are recording.
Or I can just record in my phone.
Nope. I got you. This is it.
Okay.
We're live
Okay.
right now. We're live.
Okay. Thank you.
So what we've done now is we've gotten rid of those two front pieces and we have the side piece. Okay.
All right.
We're gonna go ahead and take off this slope on the side. So I don't think that's what your intention is.
Okay.
And we can press OK. So now we've got this main roof, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think that pitch looks good. This is a 612 pitch, pretty standard kind of roof. I think anything more than that is kind of strong. It's a little bit strong. So when we have that, this will be our main roof.
And that's my main roof.
And what I was saying about trusses is that trusses run front to back, front to back, front to back, all the way down the roof. So it'd be like from this front wall, to the back wall.
Alrighty.
Is like that triangle shape. And
yep.
Frame all the way across. And then what would happen is this, similarly to the way this roof is drawn, you would have separate trusses that run front, side to side from
side to side
to this wall into this main roof.
Okay.
I'm just going to copy this over. Since your house is symmetrical, it makes life easy.
Okay.
So we can edit the boundaries here. We want to just get everything aligned. To this wall. And I think we want to have a little bit of an overhang, right? A little bit.
Yes.
Probably like, I'm going to say maybe 6 inches.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Man, this drives me crazy with the lag on the computer. Absolutely losing my mind. What I'm going to do is actually make these pieces align. So corner here comes out 1 foot. This corner here comes out 1 foot. And this piece here, same.
1 foot.
1 foot overhang all the way around. And on the side is called the eave.
The eave, yeah.
We have 1 foot overhang at the eave.
Okay.
Now, what I don't think you want to have based on your previous roof is a slope on this side, because that would look like this roof here. So we'll turn off that slope.
Okay.
And then because the one roof is a 612 pitch, we're going to make this more shallow. Let's try 312.
Okay.
And see how that looks. Just got to make sure it's an enclosed shape.
Yeah. I like using the fix and trim.
Oh yeah, man, that's the number one. I smash that button like 10,000 times a day.
It comes in handy pretty well.
All right, we had a couple extra lines, but all that's out of the way now.
Okay.
You just want to make sure you have your slopes all correct. So roofs are like checking and rechecking over and over again.
Okay.
Now, when we look at this in 3D,
okay.
I think maybe we want it a little bit steeper, right?
Yes.
Let's try this at instead of we'll double that, make it 6.
612. Oh yeah, that looks
This is a little better.
Yeah.
Better. We could even go taller. We can go taller. We can try, maybe it look very much like your original concept, and we'll go
All right.
way up to 9,
9,
9, 12.
9, 12. Okay.
All right.
It's a lot. Oh, yes.
Original concept. That's what you like
Yes.
the look of that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so now you could
And then,
take this piece, and because it didn't intersect with the other roof, we just want to make this shape come all the way across to the middle.
okay.
And now
Yeah, I was getting like that line in between there.
this thing where it's cutting off like this,
Yeah.
that's all right. That's all right. You know what we can do to get rid of that is we can close this 3D view. Oh, cancel. We go to view and hit this house button, or come here on the view. We're gonna just delete this 3D view because it's all messed up. Duplicate. And delete.
Okay.
Oh,
It's still didn't. But
delete this first one. And then when we go click the house,
oh, okay.
brand new one. So
Okay.
you have to do delete stuff just to get back to what you need.
Okay.
So when I have it with all the colors on, it makes it run slowly. So sometimes
Okay.
I set it to hidden line,
Okay. That's fine.
right? So one thing
Yes, sir.
right now is that it's much simpler, and you can see how it's framed out. Like when you talk about constructing it, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, how would this house be built? You know, with 2x4s and rafters and joists and everything. Now you can kind of understand a little bit more clearly how they were built. So,
Yes, sir.
but you notice that they don't intersect right now, right?
Yeah, they don't intersect.
So what we would do is go to modify,
And then use the
join.
joint. Okay, use joint too. Okay.
Yeah, you got the video, so you can watch it later.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Once we click this, you notice how those two things became joined like that.
Yeah, the roof is joint.
Right.
Okay.
All right. And one cool thing, because of the shape of your house, is we can kind of mirror this piece. So we don't have to do,
Oh, also
we'll
you
just say
you will
next.
have to do it again. Okay.
You can still edit it if you wanted to, but you don't have
Okay.
to.
Okay.
All right. And now everything kind of making a little bit more sense.
Okay.
We'll take this wall and we'll just attach it to,
That's it to base.
do the same with these walls.
Okay.
So that would enclose it, but you'll notice we still have these pieces.
Yeah, there's like the piece in the middle.
We want to like trim that.
Mm-hmm.
It can be tricky though to trim it because
You got two things intersecting in
two
the
things intersecting. And if we go to our roof plan, you know, we go to roof plan, and we try to edit this, we can't actually see where they're intersecting.
Mm-hmm.
So what we end up having to do is draw detail lines. And the detail lines allow us to see the location of these intersections. And we'll just
Okay.
so now that I've drawn that detail line, Now I can see exactly how this roof frames,
Okay.
and I can trim it out to match the shape of the other roof. We don't want these additional slopes, so you go back through, turn off them, turn off all the additional lines that you don't need,
Okay.
and trim your shape. All right. And now when we go back to our 3D view,
Oh, okay.
so you see that last step that we just did there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you would have to do the same thing for the other one, right?
Yep, you'd have to do the same thing for the other one, and you'd have to do the same thing for this one also if you wanted to have a vaulted ceiling, if you wanted to have some void space in there.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to. I think the concept of your building is that this is one piece, and this is what's known as an overframed roof. An
Mm-hmm.
overframed roof doesn't actually go anywhere. It doesn't have an attic or anything. It's just wooden framing to create that gable shape.
Okay.
So then I'm gonna just delete this piece for now.
Okay.
Since you've already kind of developed this, we'll just copy it over. And we can change the pitch to
612.
612, and then add in this front piece. Define slope. This is called a hip roof when you have a pitch on 3 sides.
Okay.
All right.
The
And
hip roof.
now this is probably more of what you had in mind, right?
Yes.
Yep. And we'll do that same tool join.
The joint.
And now you can see how that intersects.
Okay. And then I would just have to attach it to the walls right after.
Yeah, you would attach it to the wall if you wanted it to be. So one thing we can do just to speed this process up, I'm just gonna copy this over. We'll go to roof plan. Okay, so now everything
Yep.
everything good, right? Looks good.
Yes.
And we can use the attach tool. And just attach everything up.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yep.
Much improvement, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So I think that sometimes it's helpful to break your roof up into multiple pieces.
Okay.
It's good when you're starting to use one piece so you can get a general idea of how the pitches will work because Revit will do the math for you.
Yes.
But after you've done that, I find it useful to break it up into its individual pieces so that you have a little bit more control on exactly how that roof comes together. Just as a way of kind of going about handling all the complex geometry.
Yeah.
Do the same here with this wall attached.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And
yes,
then
what's next on the list?
so I was just thinking like how to if you can like kind of like teach me like how to make like the columns from the for the front porch, because if I can show you like kind of like what I want to be, if you see kind of like this like bases right here, I want to kind of like something like that, not similar, right? But like something like that, I would say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you have a couple different ways you can do it. You can do it
Okay.
as an actual column, or you could do it as a
Say component.
type. You could do it as a wall type. I think
Oh, okay.
your best bet might be to do it as a combination of both.
Okay.
So here's the first step. You can save later.
Okay.
We go to our first floor plan, which is where that porch is at, right?
Yes, sir. First floor plan.
Hot in here. 1 second. Well, that load.
You're fine. It's raining outside. I don't like rainy days.
Yeah, it's killing me, man. It's killing me.
It makes it kind of like a sad day, you know. You can't do
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
much
for
about
real. For real. I need sunshine, sunny and 75.
it. Yeah.
All right, so here we can do this first by going to column,
Okay.
architecture column, and just placing one here. Is this the kind of column, and we don't want a circle column, so you notice nothing showed up, right?
Yeah, you have to go to your 3D view to
You
look
got
at it.
it, you got it.
I
We
learned
went
that
over
from you.
this in class.
Yeah.
When you try to do the column and it doesn't show up, it's typically because it's not set to the right heights. But we will take it up 10 feet just so that we know what we're looking at.
Okay.
I don't think you wanted to have a pipe column, right? You probably wanted different kinds. So we're gonna have to
Yeah, like load file. Okay.
family.
Mm,
We come down to structure. Oh, it's up at the top. Sorry.
structural columns right
Columns. Wood and timber. You probably want at least a 6x6, but probably an 8x8. I believe we can now switch this out for that 8x8 column.
there. Okay. And then you can edit it, right? By
You could edit it, but I'm thinking a way that'll give you more control. So what we could do now is actually create a wall to wrap it.
okay.
So we'll create a wall and I'll just make it generic 4-inch. This would be like essentially the stone.
Like the stone base, like half of the stone base.
Exactly, exactly.
I'm kind of getting excited about Revit now. Like
Oh man, Revit is the tool.
it's just like I can imagine like 4 years from now, like have it learn and everything. Have a little bit more
There's
experience on it.
always like another level to it. It's basically an open source operating program, so there's always another level. There's always more you can learn.
Yeah.
Programming. I mean, it's almost like an IT job.
Mm-hmm.
The architecture is an IT job. I thought it was all about like arts and crafts back in the day, but it's really not. It's just computers.
Yeah, it's computering mostly.
It's cool, but wasn't exactly what I signed up for.
Yeah, same. Like I was going for so my first plan was trying to join the Marines, but
Oh
based on
yeah, what
my
kind of job did you want in the Marines?
like I wanted to be a mechanic.
Marines are soldiers first, you know what I mean? So like you be a mechanic, but you're still infantrymen, basically.
Yeah, that was
Very
my
cool.
plan. That was
That's
my
not a
plan for
bad thing, though. I think it would be good if you could get your degree and then become an officer. You know that's like would be ideal.
yeah,
It's really great to have that military designation and then also have that job experience coming into the workforce.
yeah,
And then the GI Bill will pay for all your school. That's awesome.
yeah. That was my plan, but like my current situation, you know,
Oh,
prohibited me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but like hopefully we get to resolve something
Right. I
this year.
I think I got faith.
Yes, the we're Christians, so you know, so we always like have faith in, you know, even though like it takes time, you know,
Got to keep the faith.
like yeah,
So, um, you see how I built this out of two different pieces.
yes, yeah, I did.
Column element to create the structure, and then I use the wall type that we can customize the wall type just like we did in class and edit type and
Yeah, it, and then duplicate it.
structure. We could do that whole process, and then you've created your wall. And you know, just like we did on the water table around the house, then you can
Mm-hmm.
this top piece as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure to do that. I think
Do you
that.
remember when we talked about model in place components?
Yes, I do remember about that.
Okay, so we could do that here in this scenario as well. Model in place. We'll just call it generic for now. And pick our plane at the top.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is just creating like a little bit of an accent at the top. And the reason why I chose to do it as model in place, because now I can control it very easily. You know, I can control the different sizes of it just using these grips.
Yeah.
Say, okay, do I like the way this looks?
Mm.
Too thick, we'll make it thinner. Is that okay? Oh, it's
Yeah.
high, we pull it down. All right. And then finish once you're done. So
Okay.
that's kind of like what you had in mind.
Yeah.
And we use a combination of structure, wall type,
Wall type.
model in place component.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. And I will do the same thing to get like a floor right here so I can bring my stairs down here, right?
Well, yeah, you could do that same thing to get a floor, but I think what you ultimately should do is create another level that's going to be your grade plane. And then you bring stairs from your grade plane up to your main floor.
Okay. So
If we're looking in elevation, see the front of your house is here.
yes,
And where would you like, how many stairs would you like to have?
like 3, 4.
3 or 4. Okay, so
Yeah.
what you would ultimately need is a separate level that would be the ground or the earth, you know, terra firma.
Yeah.
And you would copy down a layer and come from that, let's say 3 feet, and make note of what that is. It's called floor 1 now, but let's call this layer grade. Grade is
Okay.
the term for the dirt, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Now when we go to our first floor and we say we want to make stairs to come here. When we go to stairs, you can choose where they come from and where they go to. So we want our stairs to come from grade up
To floor 1.
floor 1. Correct.
Okay.
And we just draw them in. Bam.
Because I was trying to make like the front stairs and it was like kind of like floating around. It's probably because
Yeah,
I didn't
until
have
you have another flip. Okay, until you have another level, that's kind of how it's going to work. So there's a couple different ways you can handle this. See, now you got it all worked out. You
Okay.
can either a massing element and create a topo surface.
Oh yeah, I learned that this week in today's lesson. I mean, this week's lesson.
Yep, that's an
But
awesome tool right there. That's an awesome tool. So you create a topo surface and then you create a
the I forgot what it's
building
called.
pad and
The building
everything.
pad. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of times what I do is I'll just make a fake ground. I'll just make a floor that
Okay.
um is, you know, generic, and I'll just call that the ground. So
Okay.
we'll set it to the right location, grade, and just draw it out. And then one
Okay.
last thing you want to do is just trim it out for all these walls here.
Okay.
Oops. So now when we look in 3D, it's like, okay, we got our floor, we got our stairs, you know, and it kind of looks like the floor is at the base of your building anyway.
Yeah, I think I was watching this YouTube video and I was kind of like following up on how to make like the floor and stuff, and that was probably kind of like messed up.
Yes, yes.
So yeah,
You could work with that, but the floor is good. I mean, the last thing I'll leave you with is just keep in mind that no one's ever going to really see your model when you're presenting to a client or presenting to the class or creating a set of documents. Nobody looks at your model; they look at the drawings. So model in such a way that it works for you. You know, whatever you need to do to make it visible, make it clear. And in this case, instead of using a topo surface, I just used a floor because it makes no difference to the person looking at the the finished picture, whether it's a floor or a topo surface. It's kind of the same thing. So
yeah,
that in mind.
okay, okay, sounds good. And if you see kind of like this part right here, I could just like bring it over to this side, right? So it doesn't look like it has nothing here.
Yeah, I would say to do that.
So
Bring it around. What you could do, the simplest way would be just draw in a wall. I'm just going to draw a generic wall, right? And I'll draw one here as well. And then you use this tool, match properties.
Okay.
And when I click that and click this wall, it just automatically matches it. So I don't have to go through all the selection criteria and everything. And then I can just align it. Just like we always do. Oops. Make sure we grab the right stuff here. Line up. And you can see from the way I drew it, it's like a little bit weird. It matches properties of the wall, but it's on a different level.
Yeah, it's because my levels are probably wrong.
No, it's fine. I didn't even realize this level of this wall is foundation, bottom foundation. So we just have to change these to from floor to bottom foundation.
Oh, okay.
And now
and then you can
from there, all you do is align everything, you know. So match properties and align. I really only needed to use 3 buttons to do that whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's a good tool. So now you got a couple things, I think from the video we just made, you have a couple different tools. You can do roof editing. You can create all of your columns, components, families, and then you can edit walls and match properties with different wall types to kind of like fill out the picture, but already look more developed and much more developed. So that's great.
Yeah. I like it. I kind of like it, you know.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. It's awesome kind of where it was at and where it's coming to. You're going in direction. I think you still probably, I'd say you're maybe 60% there. So continue to develop it and design, and we can meet again Saturday or Sunday if you're free.
Yeah, Sunday would be fine for me, but what time were you able to meet? Like what time? Is it okay for you if you don't have anything to do like important?
I don't have anything, so you just let me know when you're free. Shoot me an email. And, you know, keep stuff we talked about. Shoot me an email.